It's such a strange question to be asked at this date, because you're talking about a long time ago, but nobody did that on purpose.
Look, we know Donald Trump to be a callous sociopath, without a doubt. Sociopath, psychopath, pick your diagnoses. He doesn't have empathy for any other human beings. He doesn't care about the well-being, about the flourishing of human life. He does not care. He was asked yesterday by a New York Times reporter in this G7 event where he's answering questions, and he's asked about the killing of the Iranian schoolgirls. Like, where are we now? I have the question here. Will you hold anyone in your administration accountable for the strike on the school that killed more than 100 children on the first day of the war? Will there be accountability? We know Donald Trump personally is allergic to accountability for consequence for his crimes, for his actions, immoral, unethical, all of it. He'd want to be held accountable for the more than 24 assaults on women that have been alleged against him, some adjudicated in court. He doesn't certainly want accountability for the credible accusation that he raped a little girl, forcing her to give him oral sex, beating her when she bit his dick. He doesn't want accountability for that. He certainly is not going to want accountability for war crimes, for a targeted strike, a pre-programmed targeted strike via Tomahawk missile on an Iranian girls' school. In fact, he doesn't even want the question asked. He says, why are we even asking this question right now? That's old news. I thought the war had only been going 5 minutes. Remember, Vietnam lasted 19 years. This is nothing. This is a blip. Who cares about this? But if you talk about their war crimes, then you're talking about old shit. Watch this. Callousness. Sociopathy from Donald Trump.
If you have to use a little common sense, please. New York Times, please.
Thank you, Mr. President,
Thank you.
for the question. Now that you're approaching a new phase in this conflict with Iran, can you now say whether you will hold anyone in your administration accountable for the strike on a school that killed more than 100 children on the first day of the war?
No, if it was a fault, and as you know, that's under investigation. It's such a strange question to be asked at this date, because you're talking about a long time ago, but nobody did that on purpose. I guess you'd have to say about them, what about the thousands of soldiers that they blew up when they opened their car door? What about the thousands of people that were killed by Iran? No, mistakes are made. The war is nasty. But I know it's under investigation, and I could have a report for you tomorrow. Or I would ask Pete Hegseth that question, because they have it under investigation. Please.
Don't ask the question. Stupid question. Why are we asking this question? That's old stuff. Pivots to the nuclear program. Because after all, this was supposed to be all about the nuclear program. This entire illegal, unconstitutional endeavor, this war of choice by Donald Trump, was supposed to be about ensuring they never have a nuclear weapon. The problem lies in the fact that the 14 points of the Memorandum of Understanding barely talks about it. It's just a whisper of the nuclear program in all of the 14 points. Donald Trump was also asked about this moment, about that, in this press conference. Because look, we'll go from one to the next. These questions came in direct succession. They started with the girls' question, and they immediately flowed into this question from this reporter about this. If this was all about the nuclear program, why is it not really mentioned?
Mr. President, you've been saying all week that this deal permanently prevents Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, but the drafts of the deal that have been floating around barely mention Iran's nuclear program. So can you explain how exactly the deal achieves that goal?
So when I say permanently, it should be permanently. But if it's not permanently, we will bomb them. They will be bombed, just like I bombed them on Wednesday night and Tuesday night, and was going to bomb them on Thursday night at a level that was 3 times greater, and they knew that. I will bomb them. Now, that's with me as president. If you have a weak, pathetic president. Maybe that doesn't happen, but I can only do the job that I have to do. I have a long time to go. I have almost 3 years, close to 3 years. Time is going fast. But our country's become we're the most respected country in the world. Those leaders today, they said, we used to laugh at you. 2 years ago, the same guys, they'd laugh at the country. And now they say, you're the most respected country anywhere in the world.
Didn't answer the question, instead pivots to how strong and powerful he is. Don't you think it's important enough to answer the question about why the nuclear program is barely mentioned? It's barely a footnote when it was the prime objective, the chief goal that we would come out of this, the end state, was ensuring that Iran never possessed a nuclear weapon ever again because of the safety and security of Americans. We killed schoolgirls to ensure they never got a weapon. But he doesn't answer the question. We're respected again on the world stage. Leaders tell me they used to laugh at us. What a weird coincidence that world leaders tell him this exact same thing that he's been lying about and saying for years and years and years, even prior to becoming president of the United States on January 20th, 2017. They're laughing at us. The world laughs at us before he even knew any world leaders. Now, apparently, all of them do. Wow, what a weird coincidence that those same leaders are going up to him and saying, yeah, we used to laugh at you guys, but now, because you have the largest, most veiny, turgid cock in the world, Donald Trump, you're such a tough man. We must not laugh at America anymore. Oh my God, we respect you. And the turgidity of your manhood. Nobody believes this. Now we're respected again. We're a fucking laughing stock, bro. You made us a laughing stock. We are an embarrassment, especially because for generations we've talked about the freest, greatest democracy, the shining city on a hill, a beacon to all about what freedom and liberty is. All of the jingoistic, patriotic bullshit that are lies that you hear from the Republican Party was repeated on a loop. And Donald Trump has deployed masked secret police forces into the streets to execute people who are exercising their First Amendment rights. Alex Preddy, Renee Good. Donald Trump is scooping up 5-year-old children off the street and sending them to concentration camps in Texas, over 1,000 miles away from their home in Liam Ramos. Donald Trump is looting the Treasury while Democrats do nothing about it. We are not respected on a world stage. In fact, if you watch the clips, it's just something I've been watching these clips of Donald Trump signing and all of them looking like, okay, great. Because the rest of the world, for the most part, has adults in the room. And they want to save the world from Donald Trump. So they placate, they play nice, they applaud him. Oh, yes, very good. They treat him like a toddler who just learned how to color inside the lines. You have to make a big old production out of it. It's like potty training a toddler is what it is. Yay, little Donnie peed on the potty. Oh, he took his first poopy. Yay. It's not that big a deal because everybody poops, right? But you have to make a big production out of it, so they're into it. It's the same thing with Donald Trump. They're fucking potty training Donald Trump, Emmanuel Macron, and the rest of these people. It's embarrassing. They're not proud of us. They're not afraid of us. They're afraid of us like you're afraid of a rabid dog. Or an electric bike that's run away down the street. Like, yeah, it's just a bike, but if it hits you, it's gonna do some damage. Donald Trump is that runaway car. He's the tiny fire that could engulf an entire city as they potty train him. That's actually, I think, the most apt. You see the beautiful thing about just being free association here? Got my notes with the quotes, and I'm coming up with all these gems for you. about potty training Donald Trump. Anyway. Gross. Absolutely gross. Disgusting. Embarrassing. Undignified. What do you think? I welcome you to this conversation. Let me ask this. If you appreciate what I do, help support this program, and you don't even have to do it monetarily. The best way to do it is to make sure you're subscribed. A lot of people think they're subscribed because they see my content all the time, but that's just the algorithm doing the hard work for me. Please make sure you're subscribed and that you like and comment on this video. Do the things that make that algorithm happy. We need to, in some part, potty train the algorithm to ensure that my content doesn't get buried under the cacophony, under the massive load of all the other creators out here who do what I do now. We used to be just a few of us, and now it's a very crowded field. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Comment below. Be genuine. Take care of one another.